Look at this particular question in um, this textbook, so which is the technical drawing written by J.N. Green. And as we have here, that details of a bottle jack are shown. Draw the following views of the jack completely assembled with 10 millimeters of the thread showing a sectional elevation on vertical center line, and then a plan. All right, so we are going to put this part together. Here is the body, and here is the screw. Then here we have the head. So this is actually the plan of the head, and here we have the screw here. Okay. What they expect us to do is to bring this in here, and then we are placing this over it here. Okay, so after we take this, we insert it in here, and then we are placing this head, we are placing it over here. That is what they expect us to do. And then we are to draw the sectional view of the assembling of the three parts. So let's see how we are going to work this out. So each of them is dimensioned. So as we have the total height from here to here is 140 millimeters. From here to here is 15 millimeters. From here to here is 85 millimeters. And from here up is 40 millimeters. The diameter of the circular base here is, for this part here, from here to here is 68, while from here to here is 80 millimeters. Then for the cylindrical part that we have up here, diameter from here to here is 36. And then for this particular hole where this screw will be entering into, we have it to be 20 millimeters. Here we have M20. And then dimensions on the screw itself. So the length from here to here is 110. From here up to this level is 153. And then we have from here to here to 25. From here to the center of this hole is 12, and radius of this curve is 3 millimeters. So the diameter of this circle is 8 millimeters. Thickness of this small part is 8 millimeters, and then thickness of this and this is 12 millimeters. So from here to here is 7, from here to here is 4, from here to here is 7, and then we have diameter from here to here to be 36 millimeters. Okay, so we also have dimensions on the head. So we'll be making use of these dimensions to produce the sectional elevation on the vertical center line, and also to produce the plan. So this is what I'm going to do first. I want to draw the sectional view first according to what we are given, which is question 1. But I will start by drawing the circular base in the plan. That's what I'm going to do, but I will use that to produce the sectional elevation on the vertical center line. So what we are to do here first is to draw a horizontal center line like this. Okay, so I have this to be a horizontal center line. Then I'm going to draw a vertical center line, so we should go up. So because of the sectional elevation that we're asked to draw, so I'm taking it down like this from here. All right, so then I'm going to draw a circle here. It's like this. All right, so I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to draw a circle of diameter 80 millimeters. So that is the radius is 40 millimeters. I'm taking 40 millimeters here. So this is 40 millimeters. So then putting the pin or the compass here, I'm going to draw a circle like this. Okay, so here I have the circle of radius 40 millimeters, and then the second circle has a radius of 68 millimeters. So the diameter, it has a diameter of 68 millimeters, so the radius will be 34 millimeters. So I'm taking 34 millimeters here. Okay, then I have the circle here now. Okay, so here we have the circle. All right, so here we have the circle. So I'm going to make use of this to get the elevation. So I will come up here, then I will draw a horizontal line. So draw a horizontal line. So here like this, I have this horizontal line. Okay, so then I'm going to project this line. So okay, so before I take that line, draw that line, so looking at what we have here, so we have that from here to here is 15 millimeters. So I'm going to take that measurement of 15 millimeters. So I will take 15 millimeters up from this point. So this work is going to take time, so I want us to take our time to get it done properly. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line here like this. Okay, then I will now come down here and then project this point up. So I take it up like this, and then I'll come here and also take this up. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so the one of diameter 68, so I'm also going to take it up a little bit, so it will go up a bit like this. Okay, so I just want to get its point on this horizontal line. Then I will also come here and take it up just to get its point on this horizontal line here. That's what I need for that. So now let's look at the next measurement that we have to take. So I want us to take a measurement of this 85 millimeters. This 85 millimeters from here to here, which is this. So it's that 85 start from this line to this point here. Okay, so let's take that measurement, 85 millimeters from this point up. So 85 millimeters from here up. So this is 85 millimeters here. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to draw a horizontal line. So I will come up here and draw horizontal line. So here I will draw horizontal line like this. Okay, so here we have this horizontal line. All right, so I need to shift the camera up. Okay, so I'm not really working on the circle now, so because that is meant for the plan, but we want to work on the sectional view first. All right, so having taken that distance, so I'm going to come up here. Let's look at this. So distance from here to here is 36 millimeters, which is what we have been shown here. Okay, from here to here is 36 millimeters. So I have to take that 36 millimeters. That means I'm going to divide 36 by 2, and that will give me 18 millimeters. So I'm setting my ruler like this. Okay, so I'm taking 18 millimeters to the left side and 18 millimeters to the right side. So from here, so this is 10, and then here I have this to be 18 millimeters. It's 18 millimeters, and then I will come here, so 10. So here I have this to be 18 millimeters. So I'm going to connect these 2 points together. So I'm connecting these 2 points, I'm connecting them together with a line like this, so it will go like this. Okay, then I will come here and also connect this point. I will connect it together with this point. Okay, so I'm looking at this paper, so I'm looking at the space that I have here. So I'm looking at it. I pray that it will be enough. Okay, all right, so there is a curve that we have at this point here. There's a curve that we have at this point. Okay, so that curve, so I'm just going to work it out myself. So you see I'm going to do it. So I'll just curve it out myself. So by okay, so I'll just work it out. So I'll work it out myself here. So I'm going to use my hand to form the curve like this. Okay, so on this side I'll also use my hand to form the curve like this. So, and then you can use your French curve to do this. Okay, all right, so the curve is out, so just leave it like that. All right, let's come up. So on this part here, so here we have distance from here to here to be 40 millimeters. From here to here is 40 millimeters, so we have to take that 40. So we take so we need to extend this vertical center line, so it goes up a little bit like this. Okay, so then we take a measurement of 40 millimeters from this line up. So this is 40 millimeters here. So I'm going to draw horizontal line. So I'll draw horizontal line, so from this point to both sides like this, and then so I'll now draw from this point I will draw a vertical line. So the vertical line, so goes up and touch this line here like this, and then I'll come to this side and do the same thing. So draw a vertical line touching this line. So we have this now. All right, so and then so let us show, so because this line is going to show, so this line is going to show. So this elevation that we are given is for this complete is for the solid bottle jack. Okay, so in which you can't see the hole inside. That's what we have here. That's why this line is drawn. These lines are drawn short dashes, but now we are going to expose this line because we are cutting it. Okay, so we cut it from the top down and we remove one part of it for us to see what the interior details look like. That is what sectional view is all about. So we want to see how the interior details of the object, how it looks. So that is what we are doing. So we are cutting it and then we want to see what the interior details looks like. So and then so don't forget that we are still bringing this in. So but let us work this out first before we bring the screw and then the head, before we bring them in. All right, so now, so what we are to do right now, so what we are to do now, so we are going to, as we have that, the diameter of that hole through which the screw is to pass is 20 millimeters. So we take a measurement of 10 from here to here. This is 10 millimeters here. And then we also take 10 to this side. Okay, so we have this now. So here we are going to draw a vertical line from this point. So we draw a vertical line from this point down. So we have this, okay, and then we come here and draw a vertical line down from here down. So let us, this line, we need to take it down. So so we can just put the screw inside this because we are putting the screw inside this hole. So the screw also has a thickness of 20 millimeters. So it's better we take it down. But looking at what I have here now, so here we have what? Here we have that we have what? We have the distance from here to here to be 6 millimeter. Distance between this line and this shoulder line is 20 millimeter. That is thickness of the, this is a hole, okay? This is a hole. So the thickness of the metallic part, okay, here is 6 millimeters. We also have the same thing here. So we have to show that, okay? So let us look at how we can work that out. So what I'm going to do now, to make it accurate, I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to take a point here. I will take a point somewhere here like this, okay? So then I will take my protractor. So I'm going to take my protractor. So setting my protractor at this point, where I marked just now, and making sure the line is along this line on the set square. So I put a mark on 90. Okay, so I want to draw a short line that will be at a right angle to this line. I want to draw it so that I can take that 6 millimeters. So that's what I'm trying to do. So let's do the same thing on this side. Just mark a little bit like this, and then so turn the protractor, so turn it and set it at that point like this. Okay, so you set it at that point, and then so we take 90. So this is 90 degree. So I'm going to connect this point. So just to draw a short line as we did here like this. Okay, so we have this now. So I'm going to take a measurement of 6 millimeters. So I will take 6 millimeters here on this line. So 6 millimeters from here. Okay. So here we have, this is, so here is 6 millimeters. We have 6 millimeters here. And then coming here, I will also take 6 millimeters from this point. All right, so this is 6 millimeters here. All right, so what I'm going to do now is that, so I'm going to take my all right, so I'll make use of this. So I'm going to set the set square along this line, and then I will support it with this set square or ruler. So then shift it to this point here. So shift it here. So and then you draw this line like this. Okay, so you have to draw it like this. Okay, so that it can be parallel. So they are parallel lines. So that's what I'm trying to do. So then I will set this along this line, support it with the ruler or the set square as I'm doing it here. So then shift the set square to that point where we have that 6. So this is it. Okay, I'm looking at this. Is this not more than 6? So let me check. It's more than 6. It's more than 6 millimeters. So we have to take our time to get this done properly. All right, so then I'm going to shift now. So set it the set square along this line, and then so you shift the set square to this point. All right, so we have it here like this. All right, so here we have it. Okay. All right, so we have it now. So we have that body. Okay, so then the next thing that we are going to do now is that, so let us bring in the screw. So let's bring in the screw. So as we have it here, so we are told that 10 millimeters of the screw so should be out here. So I may still need to add paper. I think I will still need to add paper to this to be able to complete this work. So let me do that. All right, so I'll just add it like this. All right, so I just manage it like this. Okay, so now, all right, so what we have now, let's bring in the screw. So 10 millimeters of the screw should be outside. So that means I will need to extend these lines. So I need to extend these lines here. So this line, I need to extend it up a bit. So I'll just let me take 10 millimeters. So 10 millimeters here. So this is 10 millimeters. So here we have 10 millimeters. Okay, so I'll come to this point and draw a horizontal line. So the horizontal line like this. Okay, so then I'm going to take this line up a bit. So this line goes up like this, and then so we also draw this. Okay, all right, so now, so from here down, so we take a measurement for the screw. The screw has the thread part or the threaded part. So the threaded part has a length of 110 millimeters from here to here. All right, so we take a measurement of 110 from this point here. We take 110 millimeters down. So from this point we take 110 millimeters down. So this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and then 11. So that is 110 millimeters. So this is 110 millimeters. So here we draw a horizontal line. So we draw a horizontal line like this. Okay, and then so we are going to take 2 millimeters in. So we take 2 millimeters inward. So according to what we see there, so this is 2 millimeters. So draw a horizontal line here also from here to here. So here we have this horizontal line, and then so we are going to come to this side and we take a measurement of 2 millimeters inward. This is 2 millimeters here. So here we have 2 millimeters, and then we come to this side. So we also take 2 millimeters inward like this. So, and then from this point, we are going to draw a vertical line. So I will come to this point here, and then so I'm going to take a vertical line down. So take a vertical line down like this, and then I will come here and also take a vertical line down. So it comes down like this. Okay, so we have this now. All right, so then I can form the, so just draw a line from here to here, and then I will draw a line from here to here. All right, so we have drawn this part of the screw. So other part of the screw that we are going to draw. So we still have this. So we have this and then we have this. Okay, so let's quickly work that. So for this one that we have here, for this one, we have from here to here to be 25. Okay, and diameter is what is 36. Okay, so we are going to, so this 36, from here to here is 36. So I'll just extend that. I'll just extend, so just come here and then I will take it up like this. So I don't have to draw it exactly from this point. I'll just draw it along it like this, and then so come here and I will also draw it up like this. Okay, so I will take a measurement of 25. So I need to extend this line up. So I will take that 25. So from here, so this is 25. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line. So here I will draw horizontal line here. So here we have this horizontal line from here to here. So we have this, and then so I'm going to, so the next thing that I'm going to do is that, so we have what, we have a curve here, so whose radius is 3 millimeters. So that working out that 3 millimeters may be somehow easy to do. So I'll just use my hand to do it. So just draw the curve like this. Okay, so I'll draw the curve like this, and then on this side I will also draw the curve like this. All right, so here I have the curve. Then the next thing that I'm going to do so is to put this upper part. So for this upper part that we have here, so we have from here to here is 7, from here to here is 4, and from here to here is 7. So I will take those measurement now. So coming here, so I'm going to take those measurements that we have. So I will take 7 millimeters from here up. So this is 7 millimeters. Okay, then I will come here, take 4. So this is 4 millimeters, and from this point I take 7 millimeters up. So this is another 7 millimeters here. Okay, so I'm going to draw a horizontal line. Okay, so here I will draw a horizontal line from here to here, and then at this point I will also draw a horizontal line like this. Okay, so and then coming up here I will draw horizontal line. So I have this. So the thickness of the wider one, the one of 7, is given as 12 millimeters. 12 millimeters, while the smaller one is given as 8 millimeters. So here I will come and take 6 to the left side and 6 to the right side. So this is so I'm trying to get the measurements accurately. All right, so this is 6, and here I have this to be, so this is also 6 to this side. Okay, so then we need to take 4, so 4 to the left side, so 4 to the left side and 4 to the right side here. So we have this. Okay, so for the one of 12, so I'm going to, I will draw a vertical line from here down, and then so okay, I will also take it up. So we also have the same thing up here. Okay, so I will take this down and take it up here too, and then the one of so the one of 4, so this is it from here to here, and then we also have it from here to here. All right, so we have this now. Okay, so we have the screw in place. So just let's bring out the thickness of this. Okay, and all right, so then so make this a thick line. All right, so then the edge. So we have to bring the edge in. We have to bring the edge in. So for the edge, we are placing it on top of this. So the edge also has the same wideness as this part. So we still have a circle here that we have to draw. So let's place the head here first. So, and then we have the height of the head is also, the height of the head is also 25 from here to here. So we need to bring in that. So let's place the head. So what we have to do for the head, so is to draw a vertical line. So we draw a vertical line from here up like this, and then here we also draw a vertical line from here up, and then we take a measurement of 25 millimeters from this point. So this is 25 millimeters. So then we draw a horizontal line. So let's make it a thick line at once. So let's make it a thick line at once. So we draw a horizontal line from here to here. So here we have this horizontal line. Okay, so then we make this line a thick line from here to here, and then we make this a thick line from here to here. Okay, so if you look at the edge, so this particular short dashes line that we have around here, so this particular short dashes line that we have around here, so it's around this this top of the screw. So what I'm going to do is to make this line, so make this line a thick line from here to here, and then we also make this a thick line from here to here. So this is what we have. Okay, so this is how it should be. Okay, so no, this is a sectional view. So in this case now, so we are not bringing in this particular screw here, because this is the hole provided for this screw to enter into. So we are not bringing this, we are not bringing it here, so we can only show it in the plan, because this will be cut off, it will be cut into two. Okay, so and a part of it where we have this hole will be removed. So we are not going to show it in the sectional view, so it has been cut off. So we are not bringing this in, it will not show. But in the plan, okay, for the plan is not, we are not drawing it for the sectional view, so we are drawing it for the complete assembling of these three parts. So that's what we are doing in the plan. So when we draw the plan, we understand, I will talk more about it. So let's complete this sectional front elevation. All right, so with what we have done here, so we have what? We are going to see the circle that we have here of diameter 8 millimeters, okay, and then we have that from this base, so the center is 12 millimeters, so we have to take that measurement so that we can produce it. Okay, so we have to take a measurement of 12 millimeters off from this point, so this is 12 millimeters, and then we are drawing a horizontal center line here. So we have this horizontal center line, so we have it like this. Okay, diameter is 8 millimeters. Diameter is 8 millimeters. So what I will do, so I'll just try to, because diameter is small. Okay, so I just take it like this. Like I want to form, a square. So a square. So I form a square. So just let's form a square here, and I'll use my hand to produce the circle. So this one is not actually 4. It's not actually 4 millimeters. You can see it, so it's a bit smaller. Okay. All right, so we have it now. So I will just use my hand to form the circle like this. So I do this because the circle is a very small circle. If I'm to use the compass, it will. All right, so let's leave it this way. So what we have is this, okay, as the sectional view. So we are not done, because we need to hash the solid parts. Okay, so let's do the arching. So for the screw, so we are not arching any part of the screw. So we are not arching any part of the screw. So we need to make this line. So let's make this line from here to here. So make it a thick line so that we can see it clearly. So from here to here, so we make it a thick line. And this also should be made a thick line from here down to this point. Okay. And then we also make this line here a thick line from here to here. Okay, and then this line also make it a thick line from here down here. And then so this line, so we make this a thick line from here to here, and then this a thick line from here to here. All right, so we have the screw. So the screw is now showing clearly. And then this line, so we make this line a thick line from here down here, and then this line, so we also make it a thick line from here to here. So this should also be a thick line, and this line will also show. So from here down to this point. Okay, so all right, so this line also make it a thick line from here to here. All right, then we make this a thick line from here to here. All right, so then we make this a thick line. So this should come down to this point. So this line, so will also be a thick line from here to here. Because when we cut it, we are going to see the curved part of this. So we see it. Okay, so we have to make it a thick line. All right, so up here, so this line will be a thick line from here to here, and this also a thick line from here to here. All right, so for what we have, the next thing that we are going to do is to hash this surface to produce action lines on this surface to show that it's a sectional view. Okay, the interior details of the object. So that is what we want to do next. Okay, so there's a little curve here too. So I have a little curve here. If you look at the diagram, there's a little curve around here. So let us put it. So there's a little curve around here. So we have it like this. Okay, so now, so we are going to hash this surface. Okay, so for this particular one, so I'm going to hash it in this direction. That can hash these two parts in this direction because they are not being placed over each other. Okay, so there's something that separates them. So, and that's what I'm going to do. I will hash them in the same direction. All right, so we have this now. So now, so that is for the head. So for this part, so for the body part, so I can also hash in the same direction because this part separate them. So supposing they are placed over each other directly, so we need to hash in different direction. But because they are not placed directly over each other, so we can hash them in different in the same direction. Okay. So don't forget that action lines are drawn within continuous line and equally spaced with 45 degrees set square. So let's take our time to get this done. All right. All right, so we only have this part left. Okay. All right, so now we are done. So we are done. This is the sectional uh, elevation as we are asked to produce it. As simple as this. So let us meet on the construction of the plan of the assembling of this bottle jack. So thank you and God bless you.